College students are being scammed into applying for fake job postings. We'll tell you how to spot and avoid them coming up next.
San Jose State University was just ranked as one of the nation's top public universities. I'll tell you why.
One student says she was scammed into giving up her personal information when she was looking for an apartment. Stay tuned to find out what happened.
From the School of Journalism and Mass Communications at San Jose State University, your source for what's happening with a fresh perspective on today's issues. You're watching Update News.
Welcome to Update News. I'm Angela Nguyen.
And I'm Tyler Flipson. Scams are prevalent in the job industry. What should college kids be aware of when looking for jobs? Reporter Alexis Marquez has some answers.
Fake job postings, fraudulent emails, and scam text messages are some examples of the way deceit infiltrates the job industry. These tricks are trying to take advantage of college students, as many do not know what a job in their field should look like. Jackie Navarro is a recent San Jose State graduate. It was in her job search she encountered her first scam. Navarro was skeptical of a job recruiter, as she could not remember applying. The pay seemed off, and the email was different from the company's.
I was kind of excited because this would technically be the first job that is something that I studied for. And then hearing that it was a scam made me upset.
The highest times of risk are the middle of the semester and the end of the semester, according to SJSU Career Center.
High recruitment where the students, as Lisa said, are busy or desperate, they're really wanting to get an internship. It's really easy to be not as vigilant as you should be.
Oftentimes, scams ask for banking information to provide payment for resources. The employer email doesn't match the company domain, the salary is unrealistic, the job description is vague, or the job is offered on the spot. Fortunately, SJSU students have extra help.
Anytime an employer comes to you, send them to the Career Center. We vet all employers.
Tchaikovsky mentions that even if your information has already been given up, they have steps that can be taken to help rectify the problem. Scams will always be prevalent, but it's important to detect what is real and what's not. Make sure to use the resources available to you. In San Jose, I'm Alexis Marquez, Update News.
News reports show San Jose State University sits in the top 5 for best public universities in the nation. What does the school have that makes it stand out? I spoke to students to get some answers.
San Jose State University is ranked 4th in the Wall Street Journal for the best public universities. There were many factors that led to this decision, including the university's low tuition rates, long-standing faculty members, and its postgraduate job opportunities. I talked to students who are part of the honors program to see what opportunities postgraduates have.
Serena Racinos is an SJSU alumni who is part of the SJSU Honors Program. She believes her time spent in the program helped her develop a strong work ethic that made her stand out among peers. That experience led her to be offered a full-time position after graduation.
I wasn't really good at public speaking, and we got a lot of opportunities to present our projects and work with a lot of professionals.
Others believe the school's faculty efforts have a hand in postgraduates' careers.
Having a group of really outstanding scholars in the classroom teaching the students, that is what leads to all these downstream effects in terms of student success.
Faculty members help students build confidence and experience to become competitive workers that interest employers, according to Del Arco. Yash Gandhi is an SJSU alumni who believes his experience taught him an important lesson.
You don't want to just go work somewhere because it pays well. You want to go work somewhere where you can do exciting projects and where you can be responsible for impactful initiatives.
Gandhi believes that if students apply themselves, SJSU has more to offer than academics. Update News attempted to contact SJSU administration but did not receive a comment about the new ranking. Angela Nguyen, Update News.
San Jose City Mayor Matt Mahan released a statement yesterday calling for District 3 City Council member Omar Torres to resign. This statement comes after an investigation into Torres due to allegations regarding sexual misconduct with a minor. The mayor said Torres' own words were appalling and that he believed Torres had lost the trust of the community and that he could not effectively serve the residents of District 3. In a statement that he released on October 4th, Torres rejected all of the allegations against him, calling them baseless and false. Update News will continue to keep you updated.
With the election coming up soon, it might be helpful to know what California propositions are coming to your ballot. This week, Gabriel Evans will break down Proposition 3. Prop 3 will amend the state constitution to recognize the right to marriage, regardless of gender. Find out more in this week's Let's talk bra.
Hello and good afternoon, Spartans. Welcome back to Let's Talk Prop. This week we'll be covering Proposition 3. Prop 3 aims to enshrine the right to same-sex marriage in the state's constitution. This would repeal Proposition 8, a measure that was approved by voters to define marriage as between a man and a woman exclusively. The proposition was brought to the ballot following a history of back and forth for same-sex marriage rights. In 2004, then Mayor of San Francisco, Gavin Newsom, had begun issuing marriage licenses to same-sex couples. In response, the California Supreme Court shut it down. Then, in 2008, California voters chose to ban same-sex marriage in the state. This would then become void after the U.S. Supreme Court allowed same-sex marriage to resume in California in 2013. This was then further consolidated when same-sex marriage was declared legal nationally in 2015. Supporters argue that the measure would simply remove obsolete language from the California Constitution to support a right already acknowledged by the highest court in the nation. Opponents of Prop 3 say that the measure goes too far and would override marriage laws and remove protections against child marriages, incest, and polygamy. So, how will you vote? I'm Gabriel Evans, and I hope you tune in for next week's Let's Talk Prop.
Scammers and phishers are on the rise and more people are falling victim. Reporter Justin Ray went out to get more information.
People all across the world can become victims of internet phishers, like we have here.
Students are often a prime target for scammers because of how often they use the internet and social media. SJSU student Yesenia Morales was looking for a place to stay over the summer and became a victim of a scammer. The two began messaging back and forth regarding a potential room that was available for rent, which resulted in her sending money to the scammer.
Because I never thought I was gonna fall into like their tricks first off. Then kind of like upset with myself.
Morales is just one of the countless people who have lost money due to the dangers of internet scammers. And with just a little more knowledge and awareness, scammers can become powerless.
You know, the website, it looks so legit. Yeah. And then after realizing that I got scammed, I looked up the website on Google, and then they were like, yeah, this is a fake website.
Organizations across the country raise awareness of the damages that can be done from the lack of cybersecurity knowledge by nominating October as Cybersecurity Awareness Month.
Is to make people understand that they may be the weak link through an attack is possible within a company. So this could be as simple as teaching people how to secure their passwords.
Password managers, multi-factor authentication, and proper research are just a few of the best ways that you can stay safe online. For more tips on how to avoid internet scams, please visit www.sjsu.edu/it/services/cybersecurity. In San Jose, I'm Justin Ray. Update News.
Coming up next on Update News.
A new proposition on this year's ballot aims to protect and fund more healthcare services. Which proposition is this? This answer is just ahead.
San Jose State University's winner for the 2024 Hearst Awards joins us live. Stay tuned to watch.
Levi Stadium is preparing for the FIFA World Cup and the Super Bowl. Big changes are coming to the stadium. Find out what changes next.
Proposition 35 is one of the many propositions that are on the ballot for this year's election. The proposition has curated various opinions on its potential impact. Reporter Michelle Sanchez has the story.
Proposition 35 will provide funds to protect and broaden healthcare. The proposition also intends to help with avoiding long wait times in emergency rooms. Natasha Lozada is one of the many Medi-Cal recipients who has faced challenges when accessing care. When her mom was in need of medical assistance, they encountered delays in being seen.
The time that she was waiting at that urgent care, that it could have at least helped her lower her sugar level.
Over the past 15 years, California has redirected more than $30 billion away from healthcare funding. There are many objectives set, like dedicating funding in place to help Californians with healthcare access.
99% of the funding is going to go directly to healthcare funding and patient care. The other 1% will go towards administrative costs.
Over 15 million people rely on the use of Medi-Cal for healthcare coverage, but it lacks proper funding. Not everyone believes that Proposition 35 is aligned to help the whole general public. One concern is that this could lead to the loss for other essential services.
We would lose investments to adult day healthcare services, pediatric day services, and also private duty nurses.
Some of those that support Proposition 35 believe improvements will be made when it comes to investing in patient care.
By funding all of these groups and all of these different provider groups, it means that it's going to improve access to care for the most number of people.
It is important to weigh the different perspectives when making a decision on Proposition 35. Let us know how you feel about Prop 35 on our socials at SJSU Update News. In San Jose, Michelle Sanchez, Update News.
Transparency from the city of San Jose regarding crime data is going to be improved. What does this mean for people, and why should you care? Reporter Mohammed Najimi has the answers.
Thank you so much. SJPD transitioned from the summary reporting system to the National Incident-Based Reporting System in 2023, according to SJPD memo. The transition resulted in a substantial disruption in the reporting system, but it is now fully implemented and adjusted to match new data on the website. The reporting process is about to be specified even further.
The San Jose Rules Committee approved of a proposal made by District 10 Council Member Arjun Batra that states public safety data will be broken down by city districts. Many San Jose citizens have experiences regarding public safety within the city.
On San Jose State campus, there was a man who was clearly suffering from mental illness, taking his shoes off, yelling at himself. It didn't feel safe to walk past him.
Be real of what really the real world is, because I feel like a lot of people just try to avoid what the real world is.
Before 2023, the San Jose Police Department had reported all the crime statistics to the Department of Justice through the FBI's Uniform Crime Reporting System. Once the DOJ had accepted it, the information could then be publicly reported by SJPD. Batra's goal for this proposal was to change how crime is perceived in San Jose and to pinpoint which districts would need more attention. Batra believes that data drives the decisions.
You had to look at each one of the incidents and somebody had to go manually find its geo information and then figure it out. That would be pretty cumbersome.
The proposal is set to be implemented next month after a Public Safety Financial Strategic Support meeting today. In San Jose, Mohammed Najimi, Update News.
Tyler, we have a guest today?
Yes, we do, but who is it?
Well, he's the founder of Operation Song, and he's the winner for this Hearst Awards.
That's right. By the way, Operation Song is a nonprofit where songwriters write with veterans and active military members to help them turn their stories into melodies and songs.
Our reporter Madison Wilbur will share with us during her live interview with our guest, Bob Reagan.
Hi, Bob. How are you today?
I'm doing very well. Couldn't be better.
Oh, well, it is such an honor to have you here in the studio. Thank you so much for being with us. Now, can you tell me and viewers at home a little bit about how you started Operation Song?
Well, to start with, I was a native Californian, but I've been a professional songwriter in Nashville for the last 40 years. And about 12 years ago, I happened to play on Armed Forces entertainment tours around the world, and I met many servicemen and women who had these amazing stories. My thought was, let's put the amazing stories together with the amazing storytellers, and Operation Song is the result, 1,800 songs later.
Wow, that's wonderful. Now, you've been honored in so many places, including the White House and now here at SJSU, but every conversation I've witnessed you have with somebody, every time they try to give you the credit, you refuse to take it. Can you talk to me a little bit about the humility you continue to experience with the veterans that you work with?
You know what? That's over. Give me all the credit. No, I just feel like in the role as a songwriter, it's my job to do service to the stories that they paid a price to be able to tell. So I try to keep myself in the background and put their stories in the foreground, and that serves everybody well.
Now, what do I have to do to twist your arm, Bob, to maybe get you to give us a little taste of one of those songs? Would you maybe be willing to play us a little something?
Absolutely, if we got time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just briefly, this song was written early on in the program with probably 6 veterans of Iraq, Afghanistan, and Vietnam. It was coming up to Memorial Day. We realized none of us had ever heard a song about Memorial Day. So We wrote this song last Monday in May. I took a musket ball in Chancellorsville. I went down and I lie here still, underneath a cross of stone. The world just turned and time's moved on. There are seasons when it seems that everyone's forgotten me, until the last Monday in May, when all the springtime flowers bloom. They come and decorate my grave, but only bones lie here entombed. My spirit flies as high as old glory waves on the last Monday in May.
Wow, Bob, that was incredible and beautiful. Thank you so much for playing that for us. That was the last Monday in May, and if you have any interest in learning more about those songs, you can go to, or the project in general, you can go to operationsong.org. Bob, thank you so much for being in the studio here with us today, and congratulations on winning the Hearst Award. It is with no doubt in my mind. You absolutely deserve it. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, everyone who's having me, and for all who made this possible, and the veterans.
Thank you so much. Back to the desk.
New upgrades and renovations are coming to Levi Stadium. The FIFA World Cup and Super Bowl 60 are coming to the stadium in 2026. The city of Santa Clara and the 49ers decided to make some upgrades and get ready for some of the stadium's biggest events since Super Bowl 50 in 2016. I went to Santa Clara to find out more about the changes to come. $200 million is the quoted amount being put towards Levi Stadium. The funding is being backed by both the 49ers and the city of Santa Clara. All of the money is going towards upgraded modern tech all throughout the stadium, from renovated suites, stronger Wi-Fi, and more. 49er employees actively working at the stadium are watching the action fly around them and seem equally as excited for these upgrades for their fans coming to the stadium.
It's great that the city's working with the stadium to bring these upgrades, and it's really great that they're bringing them in time for the events, the Super Bowl and the upcoming World Cup.
According to the stadium operations team, is moving along in a timely manner and set to be complete before the Super Bowl, hosted at Levi's in 2026. The 49ers VP of Business Strategy Analytics, Allison Liu, shares some of the details of what's to come.
Suite upgrades that we're doing, we actually already finished half of them. Next year, we're going to do the other half of the suites. We're also upgrading the Wi-Fi, and we're always like sort of implementing technology here and there.
With these upgrades, the 49ers are open and seek all feedback from their fans on their experience at the stadium to always strive to improve.
Which is why we, ask for people's feedback and in terms of like what makes their fan experience better.
And the cherry on top of these upgrades, Levi Strauss renewed their naming rights to the stadium. The name will be sticking around into 2043. Well, Angela, new video boards, renovated suites, ease of access to vendors, stronger Wi-Fi, the list goes on and on. Clearly, there is a lot of moving parts in this exciting future for the city of Santa Clara and the San Francisco 49ers at Levi Stadium. We'll be sure to keep the fans updated.
Hey Tyler, how does the weather feel like? Does it feel like fall yet?
About time. I'm ready for this cozy weather. I hope it's here to stay.
Well, we'll have more from Sean Peterson, who will be giving us this week's update on the weather.
I'm Sean Robertson with your weekly forecast. A roller coaster week of weather continues with chances of rain midweek to the potential for dry and gusty offshore winds. We'll also see some warmer temperatures this weekend with valleys back into the 80s. Watch for fire weather concerns, especially inland near the hills. And as you can see, the futurecast shows chances of rain midweek till Thursday. It'll be clear until very late in the weekend with more rain mainly near the north coast into Sunday night. Temperatures will be trending warmer later this week, with more sun expected near the coast in Santa Cruz, with a consistent 70 degrees for the weekend. On Friday, we have 71, Saturday a high of 70, and Sunday yet again 71. Oakland will see warmer temps as well, with added dry winds taking us into the hot weekend. We'll have high 70s for the weekend and mid-70s on Sunday. San Francisco should see less foggy mornings for a time as winds turn offshore. leaving the temps in the 70s all week. In San Jose, we'll see temps climbing into the 80s. It'll be dry and breezy to start the upcoming weekend, with low 80s in the weekend. This has been your weather forecast. Now back to the desk.
Stay tuned for more update news.
Tommy Smith and John Carlos were honored for protesting at the 1968 Olympics. Found out why after the break.
Want to know how San Jose State is connected to a state senator and parents? We'll tell you what is hiding on the 5th floor of the Martin Luther King Library.
SJSU alumni Dr. Tommy Smith and John Carlos are commemorated on San Jose State University's Tower Lawn. 56 years after the event, community members still honor their protest at the Olympics. Reporter Sophie Cipriano has more on the story.
On October 16th, during the 1968 Summer Olympic Games in Mexico City, SJSU alumni Dr. Tommy Smith and Dr. John Carlos raised their fists in protest as the Star-Spangled Banner played. The pair were standing on the winner's podium after Smith won the gold and Carlos won the bronze medal in the 200-meter track and field race. It was one of the first openly political protests at the Olympics in support of the civil rights movement. San Jose State held a ceremony on the 56th anniversary of the protest.
It's super helpful to know that all of the support is around, to know that we are standing for something together and we're not alone.
Last week, San Jose City Mayor Matt Mahan, SJSU President Dr. Cynthia Tiente Matson, and City Council members officially declared October 16th as Smith and Carlos Day in San Jose.
Their stand for racial justice, their courage in the 68 Olympics inspired millions of people around the world. But what is often undertold about that story is that they were discriminated against when they came back home.
Many people criticized Smith and Carlos at the time, but 37 years later, SJSU commissioned a statue commemorating the groundbreaking moment. SJSU celebrates its Legacy Month in October. It highlights student activism and protest.
While they were doing their demonstration, they received a lot of backlash and a lot of hate, outcasting, but over time after that, they're still able to get that recognition that they deserve. So I feel like it inspires students.
Events during this month include speaker Dr. Angela Davis, chats with Dr. John Carlos and Dr. Tommy Smith, and an upcoming social justice music and arts festival on October 24th. Tommy Smith and John Carlos' legacy has a lasting impact on SJSU's community. The Victory Salute statues stand as a symbol of resilience and protest. In San Jose, I'm Sophie Cipriano, Update News.
In tragic news, former One Direction member Liam Payne passed away yesterday in Argentina. Payne fell off a hotel balcony that caused extreme injuries, according to local officials. In a statement to the Associated Press, the communications director for the Buenos Aires Security Ministry, Paulo Polichico, said that Payne had jumped from the balcony of his room. The singer-songwriter was 31 years old and leaves behind his son, Bear. Payne rose to fame in 2010 with the band One Direction was formed.
The Dr. Martin Luther King Library is a great resource for many different documents. Reporter Sean Robertson takes a look at just one collection.
There's more than what meets the eye at the Martin Luther King Library, and the proof is here at San Jose State Special Collections and Archives.
The archive holds over 400 collections and thousands of books. It isn't unusual for emotions to bubble up.
Probably have cried a little bit, like reading certain things and stuff, which is embarrassing, but true.
The archives include historical documents from San Jose State, while the special collections is much more broad, like a woman who wrote a letter to the then state senator about changing laws pertaining to ferrets.
She attached her picture of herself with her ferret, and just wrote a multiple-page letter about how great ferrets are.
Special Collections urges students to stop by and check out the many documents they hold.
We're student assistants. We're just working on stuff. We are happy to answer your questions and show you how to utilize our resources for your essays and for your papers.
The collection is mostly available in person Monday through Wednesday, 12 to 5 p.m. or by appointment.
Special collections and archives materials tend to be more unique. They may be unique. They may be, if not one of a kind, they might be rare. They could be old, or there could be some reason why they might be fragile.
For your next paper, make sure you head to the 5th floor of Martin Luther King Library, where Shining Faces will help you out. At San Jose State, Sean Robertson, Update News.
Angela, we've been having events all week on campus.
Yep, that's right. It's homecoming week. Let's see what everyone's favorite event of State of the Spartans with Larry Larkin is.
The amazing community at this school, the energy, the pride, it's amazing. And homecoming week is going to be amazing with Ascent supplements. Let's go, baby!
Just giving us the break from the crazy hustle and bustle of school. I've got a lot of tests, a lot of things coming up this week and the next couple of weeks.
I'm in the marching band, so my favorite thing has got to be the football game that happens and getting to see all the alumni that end up being on the field with us. I think it's the best thing.
Seeing everyone come out and support the school, support the community. It's just great seeing new people. I'm second year, so I just like to meet new people and. Yep.
Hey Tyler, do you have any plans for this weekend?
Sadly, not yet, but have no fear because Vincent Rapena might give us some ideas on what to do this weekend during his new segment, Vincent's Weekend Roundup.
Hi, and welcome to Vincent's Weekend Roundup, where I tell you about events that's coming up. Starting off on October 19th, San Jose State football is playing against Wyoming. This will be the homecoming match, and there'll be extra events because of that. There'll be tailgates prior to the game for alumni and students, but right as the game starts, students will have the chance to take the field, and at halftime, the homecoming royalty will be announced. It'll take place at 1 p.m. at MLK Stadium in San Jose. Next up, the Half Moon Bay Art and Pumpkin Festival takes place on October 19th and 20th. There will be eating contests, parades, pumpkin carvings, and more. This will take place at Main Street, Half Moon Bay, starting at 9 a.m. going until 5 p.m. Next up on October 20th is the Levitt Pavilion Fall Music Series. The series has been going on, but this week it's going to be jazz and soul artist Lady Blackbird performing. There will also be food trucks, a beer and wine garden, and activities for kids. It'll take place at St. James Park in San Jose, starting at 3 p.m., going till 6 p.m. And then on October 22nd is the Tully Night Market. After a long hiatus, it's finally coming back. It'll begin at 5 o'clock and ending at 8:30. The market will have gourmet food trucks, local vendors, and live entertainment. Entry is free, and it'll be located at 800 Tully Road in San Jose. This is Vincent for your Vincent's Weekend Roundup. Now back to the desk.
And that does it for this week's edition of Update News.
For all of us here, thanks for joining us. Check out our socials and see you next week.